Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
This is the Art Vigil Show.
Art Vigil. Welcome to the Art Vigil Show!
Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
Undefeated out loud, baby. Everything is alright, baby. We on the road to riches, and you ain't getting no ride, baby.
What's going on, David? How are you?
I am fantastic. How about yourself?
Can't complain. Let me introduce you the proper way. This is a person that I've been debating or arguing sports for about 30 plus years. He's also known as my brother David.
That is correct. You've won some, you've won a lot, but I'm still fighting.
No, you always fight the good fight. That's for damn sure. That's always a good thing. So much going on in the sports world.
A lot, too much to keep up with.
Yeah, I know. My Twitter notifications and my what's the tool I use is the score. I think it's called the score.
I got the score as well. I got all kinds of notifications coming today.
Yeah, just pop in, and it's a great transition to free agency in the NFL 2023.
Lots of signings, lots of speculation, lots of stuff going on. I mean, you got what Aaron Rodgers, he's going to the Jets potentially. I listened to your last podcast. You don't think that's a particularly good idea?
I don't. No, I don't. I don't think it's a good fit personally.
Oh, he gave him a list. He wants this guy, for them to sign for him to come.
Yeah, they signed Lazard, Alan Lazard. Well, at least that's what I read earlier.
4 years, $44 million.
22 guaranteed.
Yep. And he wants Cobb, he wants Odell as well. Apparently he wants to upgrade the receiving core, even though they got a young receiving core already. But I mean, you got Zach Wilson and Joe Flacco throwing to these guys, not exactly A-Rod.
No, I think, again, if he decides to go there and they bring in who you're talking about, as a Dolphin fan, and everybody that listens to the podcast knows I'm a Dolphin fan, I think it's going to. I think they're the third best team in that division.
Even especially with the upgrade?
Well, I mean, the Jets wide receivers, the young ones, they're better than who they're bringing in.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah. So you're bringing in all these old guys to make him feel comfortable. So I can't imagine they signed Cobb. OBJ doesn't want to be a Jet. He'd rather be a Giant. Nobody wants to be a Jet. That's seriously. And I can't believe he's following in the footsteps of Brett Favre. That's embarrassing.
As long as he's not sending dick pics like Brett Favre.
Yeah, you know what? That's funny. That's funny. I thought about that the other day, that he get in trouble sending, what was it, a cheerleader or just somebody that worked for the Jets?
I think it was just someone who worked for the team. He was just like, you're getting a dick pic. He's like Oprah with the dick pics over there.
Nice. You get a dick pic. That's funny. And I heard that he's making an announcement tomorrow at Pat McAfee's.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that was the latest that I saw on Twitter before I jumped on. So there's four things that could happen. One, he could call it quits. Can't imagine with $60 million. I know he's made $300 million or whatever. $60 million is still a lot of money.
Goddamn right. Yeah. I mean,
he can stay in Green Bay and piss everybody off, including Jordan Love, which is what I would do personally because I'm petty like that. He could go to the Jets, which is all the rumors. Apparently, there are no other suitors, which is quite shocking. They're not, but $60 million is a big nut for maybe, for some teams with cap issues. And then, of course, I heard earlier that there's a secret team out there looking, the New England Patriots.
No shit. That's a new one.
Yeah, I was listening to Jason McIntyre on his podcast, and he mentioned that there was there's some rumors going around that the Patriots were looking into it.
They're sniffing around, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he has a better chance of getting, well, not Lazard anymore, but some of his wishes to New England, because they have nobody. Jacoby Myers left for the Raiders.
Yep.
So, I mean, they have no wide receivers.
But why would he go? I mean, New England's got a good defense, but they're off. I mean, I don't know. Why would he want to go to New England?
No, I mean, I don't know why you want to go to the Jets, but
it's New York. Probably he wants to be, instead of he's been in, Wisconsin for his entire career. Now he wants to get to the Big Apple. He's thinking, he's like LeBron in it right now. He's thinking after sports here, what am I going to do? What's the best location for me to network? What's the best location for me after career? I mean, New York, LA, those are good spots. But who knows? Man. He likes to be in the news. So like he said, if you don't like it, tune him out.
Yeah, that's actually a great point. New York is the media capital of at least the United States, if not the world. And his attention-seeking personality, I think, would fit the New York media. Although, when I say that, he's very prickly, and the New York media is not Green Bay's media.
No, the question.
No, they don't. Go ahead.
No, the question they'll be on him. He has a bad game. They're going to ask those questions that they probably wouldn't get in Wisconsin.
No, exactly. All right, so we got Mr. I'm going to start. Maybe we should call him instead of A-Rod Favre or something, because he's following in Favre's footsteps. Like
A-Rod hyphen Favre.
Exactly. Favre. Exactly. That's a good one. A-Rod Favre.
I read an article. They said that the Jets were optimistic, and I don't know why I thought about that Braveheart scene in the movie where it's the first battle scene, and the dudes, they're all hyped up, and the English lord is like, "Oh, they look optimistic today. Maybe they do want to fight." I don't know. That reminded me of, like, that's the Green Bay front office, and that's the Jets front office trying to get Aaron Rodgers away from him.
Oh, you should make a video or a gift of that. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought about that.
All right, let's move on to the next free agent quarterback, Lamar Jackson. What the hell's going on there?
He wants himself some Mr. Deshaun Watson money. He wants guaranteed. And I'm reading today that there's I don't know, collusion or whatever the hell you want to call it, where they don't want to give another quarterback a guaranteed contract, because then it's this kind of snowball that every quarterback's going to get one. Yeah,
exactly. I can't imagine they're talking about it or emailing or texting, because
no, I mean, they don't want to get Gruden.
But they have an understanding. I'm sure they've talked about it in general terms of how the Deshaun Watson contract is an outlier. But
which was just restructured, by the way.
Yes, I saw that. They restructured it. Well, they had to. I mean, come on. The Browns, I mean, they're the Browns for a reason. The Browns and the Jets, I mean, they're just bad franchises, and they have been traditionally. But yeah, they restructured it. They need to keep some players. I mean, they're going to be garbage, especially they're in the AFC. If they're in the NFC, I'd be like, okay, they're going to be fine. But in the AFC, you have like the top 8 teams in the league now.
To back up your point, how garbage the Browns are, I did a little research. Their first round quarterback choices going back to 99. Listen to this. Tim Couch, first round, 99. 2007, Brady Quinn. 2012, Brandon Whedon. 2014, Johnny Football. 2018, Mr. Backup himself, Baker Mayfield. Not great.
No. Well, that's why they were so desperate.
That's why they gave the guy a guaranteed contract. He didn't want to go to Cleveland until he said, how much guaranteed? All right.
Is it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there? I'm going.
I couldn't make a bad joke. any massage parlors nearby?
Right, exactly. Oh, I can't imagine he's even within 1,000 feet of a massage parlor.
Oh, I bet he gets a nice big sweat if he drives by one. God damn it!
That's funny. So do you think he's going to sign his
Lamar? I think he's going to hold out. I mean, he should. I mean, the dude's in his prime. When he's healthy, he's. I mean, talking fantasy football here. I mean, we want to go that route, but he puts up numbers. He wins games. He's a good quarterback, and that's the most important position in the NFL.
Yeah, no, he does. No, he definitely wins games. He has a good organization, and personally, I can't stand Baltimore because they always beat the Dolphins. However, they've basically transformed their whole organization, especially the offensive side, for his skill set.
Yep.
I wasn't a huge fan of Lamar coming out. I watched a couple of games in Louisville. Yeah, he's dynamic. He's fast. He can throw the ball a mile, but he wasn't always as accurate as other quarterbacks, especially within that draft that he came out in. But he showed me a lot, honestly. Like, I can honestly say I was wrong about Lamar Jackson.
However, I mean, a lot of people are wrong. I mean, after his first couple of games, what was his quote? Not bad for a wide receiver.
No, I think he said running back.
Not bad for a running back, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So should Baltimore pay him is the question.
No, I don't think. I mean, they should pay him 3 years, $150 million. Maybe get the same deal as Russell Wilson.
But how old is? I mean, Lamar's one in his mid-20s.
26.
26. I mean, Russell's what, 30?
4.
30. Oh, come on. You got lock Lamar up for at least 5 years.
Yeah, but his running style, his quarterback style, the last 2 years he's been hurt.
Yeah, you get a solid backup. Baker Mayfield's available.
Yeah, he is. I think he'd rather stay in LA, or I heard some rumors that Tampa Bay was interested.
The Bucks, the Niners, and Rams. He's looking at $8 million a year, but Niners are out because they got Darnold. Darnold is interesting because there's lots of rumors last season, or the season before, was it 2 years ago, that they were going to trade for Darnold and he was going to be their starter. It was Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, and it looks like they finally got their guy.
No, I do remember that, and you should tell people who are listening that you are a Niner fan.
Yes, I am a Niner fan, and they had some good signings. They let McGlinchey go, but he probably asking a little too much. But we got a defensive tackle out of Philly. It's Hargrave. I'm stoked about that.
Yeah, no, he's a stud.
We're losing D-backs though. We need to through the draft, or we got 7 additional picks this year. Let's draft a couple cornerbacks.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as fast as your defensive line gets to the quarterback, you don't need great. Wait, did I say cornerback? I meant quarterback. You don't need great cornerbacks.
Yeah, we need a cornerback. I don't even know who's on the roster. I mean, Mosley got signed away. Jimmy Ward's going. What is it? Was it the Dolphins?
Yeah. No, Ward went to Houston.
Oh, that's right. The Texans and the Dolphins, they're turning into 49er light here. Definitely the Dolphins.
Well, yeah, because Mike McDaniel was, Kyle Shanahan and what's his name? The coach, what's his name? The Houston coach. Your guys' defensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah. DeMarco Ryan.
Yeah. Exactly. So that makes sense. He knows those players and he wants to bring them over. So where do you think Lamar Jackson will end up? Do you think he'll end up with Baltimore, or do you think he'll because as of now,
I think Baltimore's they said go out and go see what your market is. All right, you don't think what we're offering you is fair? Go out and see, because they can match. What's the term that for the franchise tag?
It's not the exclusive franchise tag. It's the non-exclusive.
But if they can match any offer he gets, so they go test the market, see what you're really worth. They're going to I think he stays in Baltimore. They'll match it. But he's not
Well,
he may not get what he wants.
I think that's the problem with this, with the teams not interested, is that
They
the
know
other
that
teams, yeah, exactly. Well, for one, they know Baltimore is going to, the
match the
Ravens
offer.
are going to match the offer, and they don't want to put out $230 million guaranteed. And it's shocking. I mean, Atlanta, the Falcons.
They got Taylor Henneke. They're like, no, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on.
We're good. Well, I mean, but would he really want to go to Atlanta? They're in the middle of a rebuild, aren't they?
It's been 2 years of a rebuild.
Hey,
So,
salary cap era, man. Long rebuilds.
yeah, I guess. So I honestly think he stays in Baltimore as well. If Aaron Rodgers decides to stay in Green Bay, if the Jets don't at least try to get Lamar Jackson, that means they're tanking, which would be great because I would love to see the Jets lose every game that they play, because I can't stand them. They're the worst.
I don't know if they can tank though. I mean, their defense was pretty good. I mean, could you tank? I mean, they'd have to trade away a lot of chips for. I mean, when you tank, don't they normally want to go through the draft, have a quarterback on their cheap contract, and they want, I don't know. The Jets tanking.
No, if they want to tank, just play Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, yeah.
I mean, the defense is going to play hard. Say it'll be 11-8 or 11, just like the Dolphin Jets game. The last game's even was like
Be a baseball score.
Exactly, we all baseball scores, but they'll lose, and they have really good quarterbacks coming out last year or next year. But we can talk about that later. All right. So speaking of quarterbacks, there's been some quarterbacks that have gotten paid.
Yep.
Deservedly or not deservedly. Geno Smith, what do you think of that deal?
I think it's good for Seattle. He's a stopgap. It's a 3-year deal, but they got an out after 2 seasons, and they got him $40 million guaranteed, and it's done after the first 2 seasons. So if they draft a quarterback this year, which all likelihood they're gonna, he gets to sit behind Geno for 2 years, and then boom, Geno's cut, and the new guy takes over. So that's not a bad deal for Seattle.
I agree. And if he continues to play like he has been playing, at least this past year, they'll be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, he had a hell of a season last season.
Yeah, he did. He, what was his saying? People wrote him off, but he didn't write back.
I didn't hear that one, but that's a good one.
Oh yeah, it was on Monday Night Football. It was on Monday Night Football when they beat the first game of the season, when they beat the Denver Broncos, when Russell Wilson went back.
That was an ugly game.
Yeah, it was. But you know what? It's always safe to kick a 61-yard field goal in Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the signings go, I think the Seattle has the best. The Jones one, I mean, that $81 million guaranteed in 2 years. But they also got it looks like they have an out after 2 seasons too, but it's still $80 million he's guaranteed. That's a big one.
Is it? No, I don't think it's $80 million.
And I read after 2 years, he gets $81 million for 2 years. They have 2 years potential out. I mean, just like anything in football, you got to make the team. They can write a $500 million contract, but 2 seasons of guaranteed money after that, that guy's going to make the team. So if Daniel Jones doesn't perform, they can get out. Or if he's just Daniel Jones, they can get out after 2 seasons.
Yeah,
15 touchdowns passes. I mean, that's a hell of a payday for 15 touchdown passes.
Yeah, but he also ran a couple of touchdowns.
Ran for 7.
He did, yeah. So that's what?
22 scores.
22 scores. That's not bad total. If you listen to the last podcast, I think that he should be thanking Josh Allen for the contract that he got, because the Giants head coach sees something in him that he saw in Josh Allen. So we'll see what happens. I think that's a horrible contract personally, but in today's market, you kind of have to do it.
$40 million a year. Damn.
Yeah, I think I read that he makes more money than Burrow, Tua. Who else came out in that? Herbert. And
Well, that's
another
right now. Just wait
Yeah,
till
right now.
their
Exactly.
fifth year.
Exactly.
I mean, Herbert's going to get paid. That guy's a stud. All the talk coming out of college. I mean, he definitely disproved them wrong.
He hasn't won anything yet, though. So we'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic about Herbert. But again, he plays for the Chargers, and the Chargers are notorious chokers. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, he could be like Phillip Rivers, just throw for god awful amounts of yards and never win shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's a great point. Let me see who else is out there. Derek Carr.
Yeah.
He's a saint now.
He's a saint. Again, same thing. If you look at his contract, his first year, it's a $7 million cap hit. He's been, flexible with the Saints because I think they have a little bit of cap issue. And then the second year, I think it goes up to 35 mil, and then 25 it goes up to 45 mil. So that's an awful big cap hit.
Yeah. I'm confused why they think Jimmy Garoppolo is an upgrade from Derek Carr.
Las Vegas, you mean?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Unless, again, they're in a rebuild mode. They just traded away their stud tight end, Waller, and he gets hurt a lot, but when he's on the field, he's a stud. So they could be in rebuild mode. And they say, all right, we're going to go get same thing. I don't think Seattle's so much in rebuild, but they go get their quarterback because their backup just got signed to Denver. Stidham. He's a 2-year contract, so he's out. So I only quarterback that I'm aware of. I'm sure they have the third string, fourth stringer guy there, but it's Jimmy G, ride or die.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things that come to mind when it comes to why they might have traded Derek Carr. One, his cap hit this year would have been $44 million.
Yep.
Jimmy G's this year, I think, is $12 million. So they're saving some money to get. I mean, their defense is ridiculously bad, so they do need help on the defensive side.
But they're signing people like crazy. I'm not sure how much cap space, but I do believe they got quite a bit because they're signing linebacker. I think they signed 2 linebackers this week.
Well, that's what they need.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they need. The other thing I heard today, again, listening to some of the talking heads on TV and podcast, that Josh, what's the Raiders coach's name? I always forget it.
Josh McDaniels, yeah.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels, that's right. Yeah. He said that Derek Carr didn't fit the culture of the Raiders.
Culture is that from all reports, Derek Carr is a hell of a guy.
Derek Carr was the reason why most of the time that they were winning. I mean, he was a stable quarterback.
I guess he wants the paparazzi Jimmy G. Is that what kind of culture he's trying to get there?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
One of the things that came to mind is maybe he didn't like the fact that Derek Carr was so religious.
Oh.
So I'm totally speculating, but when I heard culture and Josh McDaniel, I'm like, maybe he just didn't like the way he was, like I said, so religious. He believes in a certain way, and
Jimmy G will bring the porn stars around, the strippers.
Well, hey, welcome to Vegas, right?
Yep. Josh will look in the locker room and be like, that's the kind of culture I was talking about.
Exactly. That's the Patriot way right there. That's funny. All right, let's see. What else do we have on our list? We have which team got the best deal?
I think the Seahawks.
So we have Daniel Jones, Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford, Derek Carr, Geno Smith, and Jimmy G.
Oh, Matt Stafford. He signed a 4-year, $160 million deal, but it seems like the Rams they were in win mode. So they were just handing out contracts left and right. But now they're dismantling the team because they can't afford to be under. They're over the cap. They traded for Ramsey. They're cutting, some stud linebacker. And then they had what was it? Bobby Wagner. He's gone. So
yeah, Ramsey's going.
Yep, Ramsey's he's on your team.
He's a Dolphin.
Dolphins are they're in win mode. They're in win now mode too, man. They got to get that before Tua gets paid if they're going to pay him.
Yeah, I like Tua. I've watched him since he was in Bama. He's gets hurt every year, and now not only is his ankles and hips, it's his head from concussions. I'm very concerned. And we signed Mike White from the Jets, which I'm just flabbergasted. We gave him $16 million for 2 years. That's just ridiculous.
16?
$16 million for 2 years.
Whoa.
$8 million a year.
That's big Mayfield money right there.
Yeah, exactly. And he's only won 2 games as a starter in the NFL. So again, I trust Mike McDaniel. What he's done for Tua and even Skyler.
Yeah, Skyler. What happened to that guy? Did he get cut?
No, he's on a rookie. He was like Purdy. He was a 7th round pick. So we got him for basically nothing. So he'll be 3rd string practice squad guy. Yeah. I mean, he didn't play bad when he was asked to contribute with the Dolphins. He just, for some reason, he was a gunslinger for Kentucky in college. And in preseason, again, he wasn't playing against number ones. So got to be mindful of that. He was slinging that ball around, but I think they might have told him, hey, if there's nothing there, throw it away. If there's nothing there, throw it to your running back. And the games that he played, we probably should have won. Our whole team played well, our defense, our special teams. We just weren't converting on 3rd down. So again, that could be a lot of things. It could be coaching. It could be play calling. It could be lots of things.
That could be rookie too. I mean, what rookie quarterback is good converting on 3rd downs in the NFL? I mean, as everyone says, it's a lot faster, and you can't really be a gunslinger unless you're accurate in the NFL. You have a small window, so you can sling all you want, but if you're throwing it to the other team, that's going to get you in trouble too.
Yeah, no, I agree. So you think Geno is the best bet, or got the best deal?
I mean, best deal for the team, I think so. $40 million guarantee. Everybody else has more guaranteed money. So,
yeah, that is true.
I mean, even Dak Prescott, he's on a 4-year, $160 million deal. But after this season, all the guaranteed money has been paid. But I don't see Jerry moving off of Dak. I think they may sign him again.
Yeah, well, if Dak wouldn't have thrown 2 interceptions against the Niners, they probably would have won that game last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, it looks like the in this era it's flipped. The 90s, the Cowboys kept outs in the Niners, and this time around it's the Niners beating the Cowboys in the preseason, which I'm all for. I love it.
Yeah,
and
me too.
Dak throws 2 interceptions the next preseason or next postseason.
Yeah, I don't mind seeing the Cowboys lose. I mean, they're not. I'd rather see the Jets, the Patriots, and the Bills lose, and then the Niners, and then the Raiders, and then the Cowboys. That's just that would be my top 6 or 7 teams. If every Sunday those teams lose and the Dolphins win, it's a great week.
Yeah, it's the Cardinal. Well, it's the Seahawks. Everybody in the NFC West, and the Cowboys. The AFC, great division. We'll see what happens next year. Talk about the AFC. What was all this talk about the AFC West last year? It's loaded. And look what happened.
Well, Denver choked. I mean, They were the hottest team coming into the
They were
into the season. They were like, yeah, I mean,
we're going to the
people
bowl.
people were thinking they were going to go to the Super Bowl because of what Stafford and Tom Brady did. Oh, veteran quarterback, they're one quarterback away. They have a running team. They have a defense. They have offensive line. Well, apparently Hackett can't coach, at least not a head coach.
Need a complete package.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, again, Wilson didn't look very good.
I mean, what it looked like? I mean, I watched Russell Wilson dismantle my Niners for years. I couldn't stand this dude. It was always the same thing. Third quarter, fourth quarter, third and long. The dude scrambles for first, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Game over. This year, Denver. I mean, he was like totally different dude.
Yeah, no, he didn't look half himself, which I agree. I enjoy because I'm not a Russell Wilson fan by any means. And I almost had to say I can technically, up until last year, I was probably wrong about him, but last year was bitter. It was very sweet for me, not bittersweet. It was very sweet to see him fail. And my son, your nephew, Josh, is a big fan of him, and I've been arguing and debating about Russell Wilson for years. And finally, I was right. So hopefully he does the same thing this year. I read an article that he could be let go next year, or at least benched
if he doesn't play well.
If he doesn't play well, which is why they brought in Stidham.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah.
But what he's got? What, a 4 or 5 year deal? They signed him some outrageous contract.
Yep, 130 million guaranteed or 160 million guaranteed, something crazy.
So that's an expensive bench warmer.
Yeah, no, there were some, and I'll have to look it up again, but there was something about the contract that allowed them to do certain things.
Oh, clause.
Exactly. It's the "you suck" clause before the contract kicks in. Then you're out.
That should have been every NFL contract. I think it is in every NFL contract.
I'm saying it probably is. It probably is. All righty, man. Again, I really appreciate you joining the pod today. I think we're going to be doing this once, maybe twice a week.
Yeah, it works, man. This is fun. Just sitting around talking sports.
All I see is money, 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 money. Yeah. All I see is money, 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 money.